Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. It is now Thursday. Now we're over here in Asia. It is sweating. I'm sweating. I've got to turn the air conditioning and the fan off so there's no buzzing or strange sounds. But if you are listening today, we're talking about the effects of thinking life is normal. Now, we have to basically think about this because everything that happened with the past pandemic and everything that's happened in your past is beyond normal. There's no normal, and it does not exist, and we have to decide to avoid that and working to get ourselves into this new alleyway, this new road of a new normal. We got to preserve the things that we have done over the past year, things we've learned, things we've joined, things we've earned, and basically continue on this path of new normalcy. And that's the hardest thing for people, is to step out of that old lifestyle of just complacency and normalcy and think, oh, this is something new. No, this is your new normal. This is your new normal, and you have to keep directing yourself down there. Because we have to be aware of these things that they're going to be coming and changing, and it also help us be better prepared for them in the future. Everything you're doing now is preparing yourself for what's happening and what will happen in the future, because normal doesn't exist. And if you do believe it exists, that is your enemy. You're not going to be prepared for what's going to happen in the future. You're still stuck in that original normalcy life, pre-pandemic, pre-investing, pre-stock market, every single thing that you've done in the past 6 to 8 months, where you should be on this road. New path, getting toward the end goal, holding your stock, learning, educate, due diligence, investing, and think about how and what goals you want to reach, whose lives you're going to affect. All of these things. This is your normal. This goes along with something that, for me, it's been part of my life. It's one of the books by Mark Aurelius. It's Meditations. I've had this book, and I bought it for when I came over here like 20 years ago. I bought it a few times, and I passed it along to people that I thought would be helpful. I eventually said, hey, go take a look. This book will help you. Read through it. They're going through some hard times, so you have to read through it now and again. I eventually told them if they didn't give it back, no worries. You can go buy another one. But it's something for me. It's been something to look back on to remind me about normalcy and a lot of other areas of life, but also what's happening now with the stock market and what is happening with mentally and preparing yourself for getting out of that normalcy and getting into the future. A lot of good stuff in there. And it's just about taking things one day at a time, right? Now, because we talk about normalcy, but for me, I pretty much got out of where I was in America and replanted myself after the 1999, 2000 stock market crash. Life was going too fast. As soon as the internet came on, things just flying by. There's no time because we rushed through every single thing, right? And we're always trying to get to the end. We're always trying to get the end of the day, the end of this. But if you look at the bigger picture, what was it? What was I working to the end of what? There was no end. So I really needed to slow down and to really take time to really figure out what am I working toward. Because everything that happens, the time that passes belongs to the end of life. And again, through Mark Aurelius and Meditations, discusses that is death. Everything that happens in the past belongs to death. That time in the past belongs to death. Interesting thought, yeah. But we never get to live basically what is already passed already. That's already done. Because why are we thinking about the future at the expense of the present? And that's what I think a lot of people are doing now. You're worrying about the future so much at the expense of your present day, when you really need to slow down and enjoy things a lot more. Because life is to be valued and to be lived, not to be fast forward it and to forget about everything that you've learned and everything you've accumulated over the past 6 to 8 months. Because we have to take the deep breaths, slow down, because we have to realize this event, this kind of black swan events that we're in, and again, whatever you want to call it, it won't happen again. And when the goal arrives, whatever your end goal arrives, you're not going to be ready for it. If you want to keep going faster and faster and faster and freaking out and not taking time to slow down, look back at everything you've learned about due diligence, friendship, community, education, your work, your job, what are your future planning, what are your future goals? Because you're shooting through the target, right? As a snipers and archers do, they're going to shoot through the target. Because when the goal arrives, you will be ready, not just for that goal, but for the future steps you need to take. And that is understanding what you've gained. So take a break today, tomorrow, or even over the weekends. Examine things, relax, and put things into perspective, all right? Because can you assess the danger a criminal poses by examining what he does on an ordinary day? Nope. Can we understand health without considering wild diseases and epidemics? No. Indeed, we have to think normal is irrelevant, okay? Again, normal is irrelevant. Now, Mark is a realist. We can go back to relate anything in the world to about him. If you know about Stoicism, anything about that, that's a great thing. I know Trey Trays has a video, I think it was today or yesterday. He put that in his title, but to really understand to it, it's not a philosophy, but it's a way of life and a way you want to live. And it's something that, you know, you can dedicate something along, but, you know, you'll truly never really understand it, but just try and get through each process. Take one of the phrases, one of his thoughts, one of the meditations, and just put it to life every day. Ryan Hall is a great podcast. I'll link it down below, but something that you can definitely apply to your life if you feel yourself you need to slow down and really focus on things, because we assemble our life in action, basically action by action. We have to shrink things down, and we really need to sweat the small things. Don't sweat the big things. If you sweat and do the work on the small things, the goal we're going to get is bigger. When we focus on the small parts of life and what we do each day, that's going to strengthen and accumulate our resolve, because it adds up to new normal, a totally new way of living, and a new way of basically new normalcy. And this is the compounding effect of what the Stoics discuss. It's the actual small steps of moving slowly and surely with each action is small. And what we get is this huge thing beyond the goal. It's beyond our first goal, which we ever imagined, because things add up when we realize that, you know, we're left holding more than we were first set off to reach or end up with. You know, if you think about why did you want to do this? I mean, for me, I was just trying to get a new laptop. That was it. That's it. I didn't think about anything else. Oh, I just want to get a new laptop. No problem. But now, if I think about the new rewards, education, community, some new friends, and yes, there's a financial reward for that, but also shooting past the goal. All of the rewards that go on this, right? And that's the great thing. Knowing the future rewards, just all the small steps, small actions that I've taken, all the actions that I've taken, things I've learned, are going to, and at the end, it's not going to be just a piece of the small fruit at the bottom of the tree. It's the whole tree is what I'm getting. And hopefully you're going to get that too. So to all of you out there, I want you to remember this. Normalcy doesn't exist, and if you believe it, it's your enemy. Stand strong. Yeah, a little deep in philosophy today, but that's pretty much what I enjoy. Hope you enjoy too.